and the hottest hand for the Plymouth Whalers. He was able to deny him, allowing London to come back into that game.
This is the big line for Plymouth. Tom Wilson along with Vince Trocheck and Sebastian Uvira playing out there. Keep an eye on number 25 for Plymouth. That's Vince Trocheck. He was the leading scorer in the Ontario Hockey League this season, and he has the puck now at center. Trocheck to track up to the Florida Panthers. Tried to throw it in front. Uvira got it in front of the net. Nobody there for Plymouth. Gianluca Curcarudo to his defense partner, Nick Melissa. Pass picked off in the middle, and Bo Horvat will send it in deep. He'll go in and chase, while Tyler Ferry heads off for a change. That'll be picked off by Seth Griffith. Oh, he almost walked out in front, but Alex Nedeljkovic with a big save, and then the crowd erupts after a Max Domi hit. Scott Harrington shot in front, redirected by Domi. There's a big save by Nedeljkovic.
Very important for Nedeljkovic to get some touches early on. Pulled 4 goals and 11 shots in game number 4. But the youngster unflappable. A couple of good early saves for Nedeljkovic.
Oh, Jared Mueller, he's hit hard as he got to the line by big Nikita Zadorov.
How do you like the start to this one?
Woo. Tough to beat the start. Knights looking for a little offense. Ricard Raquel, he spent some time with the Anaheim Ducks earlier this season. He's been sent back to Plymouth, and the Whalers ice the puck, and the crowd at Budweiser Gardens cheers the play on the ice.
Yeah, and huge hits to start this game, and a couple of them coming from the London Knights. First, Gianluca Cucurullo reverse. He gives it away, and because of that, he has to fight for the puck in his own end with his head down. Max Domi runs him and lets him know that he is there and a physical force to be reckoned with. And then Ricard Raquel bumped off the puck, but as it goes into the middle, Muir's taken up by big Nikita Zadorov and a couple of draft eligibles getting on the board, at least physically early on. And now Dale Hunter, having words, figured that Nason on his way to the bench took some liberties with his player and wants to send a message early on to not let this thing get out of control.
Ryan Rupert on the face-off for London, number 64. He's the hottest player in this game. He's got a point in 7 straight. Curtis Crombie slides the puck ahead to Ryan Hartman. Cross ice to Matt Niskerley. The Whitby native will just dump it in.
That's something we'll see a lot of, RJ. We talked to Mike Malucci, the head coach for the Plymouth Whalers, and one thing he said he wants to do is keep that puck away from Stolars on the dump-ins. He's been really good at stopping that ring and allowing the mobile defense corps for London to get involved and move pucks early and quickly out of their own zone.
Keys to the game tonight brought to you by Irwin Tools, the makers of Vice Grip Groove Lock Pliers. Invite you to celebrate National Tradesman Day on September 20th.
Remember that song, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, a Michael Jackson hit back in the 80s off the Wall album. And you know what, for Mike Malucci and the Whalers, they just need to keep scoring. They can't give up here. They've had trouble getting separation from the London Knights in this series. Haven't really had a 2-goal lead to speak of. And when you look at the London Knights, they're like Jaws. They see that blood in the water. They're going to attack. They don't want to extend the series any further than it has to go.
Gianluca Curcarudo, number 32 for Plymouth. He was 10th in defenseman scoring during the OHL regular season. There's Vince Trocheck. Trocheck walks in, tries to make a move. Scott Harrington, he was with him the whole way. Uvira. He can't get around Tyler Ferry, and Ferry starts things the other way for the Knights. Bo Horvat in over the line. He's got Griffith with him, elects to shoot, and Alex Nedeljkovic, a calm glove save, and gets the whistle.
Well, this is a huge early situation for Alex Nedeljkovic. You talked about it, just turning 17 years old. This guy went 19-2-1-1 during the regular season, and really from about mid-February on, took over the nets from Matt Mahalik, who's a drafted goaltender into the National Hockey League by the Carolina Hurricanes. The same owner, Peter Carmanos, owns both of these hockey clubs, so you'd think that maybe even Mahalik would get the nod. But Mike Malucci has full control. He went to Nedeljkovic in early February. He took the net away, and he goes back to the kid after getting pulled. That was a big question mark coming into the series. Would a 17-year-old goaltender be able to handle what London has to throw at him?
Broadhurst puts another shot right on, and Nedeljkovic covers that short side and hangs on to the rebound. Knights a 3-1 edge in shots. Early on, they're testing the youngster.
And Nedeljkovic just seemingly unflappable early on, especially after big hits, the crowd getting into it. You look at the games combined between the regular season and playoffs, 28-6-2, 2.38 goals against, a couple of shutouts in there, and this guy's not eligible for the National Hockey League draft until next year.
You know the shots are going to come for Plymouth in this game, though. Over the last 3 contests, they've averaged 44 shots on goal. Big push early on from the Knights. Remy Alley comes out of the corner with a puck. Green Valley, Ontario native. Puts it right back down low. Brett Wolichka sends it back to Zadorov. One-time shot that missed the net. Matt Mistoli slides it ahead to Ryan Hartman. Hartman tries the cross-ice play to Connor. He put it in front of the net. That could have been dangerous. Justin Sefton. He'll try to skate this one out for the Knights. He'll get to center. Now he's hit over the Plymouth line. That pass goes off the skate. Wolichka tracks it down. Right, Wolichka works into the corner. Ellie's open. Nice a short side save by Nedeljkovic. Ellie tracks another one down. He comes out of the corner. There's a shot. That's off the shin pad. Comes all the way out to center. Matt Mistoli gets stood up by Sefton, and that will draw an interference call. Well, wait a sec. The Knights, no goaltender knew which should leave the net.
In that case, you better stay. It'll be a high sticking call, and it'll actually,
it's
the Plymouth Whalers. It'll be Mistoli's heading over to the box. So Sefton came up to get him, and when you look at the replay, clearly gets him right in the chops. And so a tough break here for the Plymouth Whalers, having to defend against this vaunted London power play.
London's power play in this series, they've scored 7 power play goals. But look out for this guy, Vince Trocheck. He can be dangerous short-handed. Pokes the puck loose to Tom Wilson. Tried the return feed to Trocheck, and Ole Mata gains control for the Knights. Spots the late trailer. That's Alex Broadhurst. Sends it over to Griffith. Griffith's shot. That's gloved by Nedeljkovic.
And another good shot there. And Seth Griffith returning from a hand injury, and you go back about a week and a half ago, and the Knights finally felt like he was back to where he was shooting the puck. The one thing that he doesn't get a lot of credit for, although he is a pure goal scorer, he does have an amazing shot, and he has that ability not only to score in front of the net, but on the fly and from outside the slot as well.
Minute 23 to go in this power play. Ole Mata, number 2 for the Knights. He's a Pittsburgh first-round pick and wound up going outside as he left the puck for Seth Griffith.
Well, a little disjointed, this power play for the London Knights so far, but when you look up and down the lineup, it's been a fairly balanced attack. Max Domi leading the way with 3 goals in this series. And you're looking at a group of guys who have come back from the MasterCard Memorial Cup experience last year, and I think have benefited greatly from it into this year in their development.
Ole Mata led the team in defenseman scoring in both the regular season and playoffs, but the Knights having some trouble getting the puck inside the Plymouth zone. Griffin, he'll just send it in deep. Domi waits for it along the boards, throws it in front of the net, and Raquel, it's a 2-on-2, short-handed for the Plymouth Whalers. He's got Stefan Nason with him. Nason gets a shot, that's blocked away. The rebound goes back to Nason, but he can't put it on net again.
And 2 guys up front for the Plymouth Whalers who, going back to the draft 2 years ago, Mike Vellucci guaranteed me both would be first-round picks, and they were off everyone's radar screen. Of course, Nason goes to Ottawa at 21 and Raquel to Anaheim at 30.
Final 30 seconds of this Knights power play. They haven't had much going. Ole Mata is in over the line. Behind the net, Wolichka knocks it down. Moves it to Domi. Domi right back into traffic. Loses it at the side of the net. Cleared once again by the Plymouth Whalers. Now just 15 seconds to go in the power play. Mata has to wait for his teammates to get back onside. Griffith, he gets his pocket picked at center by Trocheck, and he heads off along with Wilson for a line change.
Yeah, good job, especially in the neutral zone by both Wilson and Trocheck. Had 2 separate shifts on that kill and spent some time in the offensive and neutral zones doing it.
Mistoli back on the ice. Whalers back to full strength, and it'll be Mistoli chasing after this loose puck. Scott Arrington got there first. Mitchell Hurd. Hurd watched closely by Zadorov, number 15 for Plymouth. He's spent some time in the American Hockey League earlier this season with Lake Erie. Hurd redirects one right into the Knights bench, and that will cause a whistle.
Check the J score. Huge baseball fan. Both Dylan and Dale. Every time we go into the room, the first thing they're asking about are the Blue Jays.
Mitchell Mitchell Hurd brings it in over the London line. Hurd shot. That's blocked inside the rebound. Put off the post. Curtis Crombeen had jumped into the rush. Oh, a lucky break for London.
You know, it's amazing, RJ, because when you talk to both coaches, the series, each game has really come down to the execution of one individual play or one bounce, seemingly. And this is the bounces that Plymouth has not been getting. This puck goes right off the post, off the rebound with Crombeen cramming down on the rush. And you see Stolarz overplays it just a touch to his glove side, right off the skate and inadvertently of Crombeen, and off the post it goes. That's puck luck, and it hasn't gone Plymouth's way this series.
Ellie, some tough work to get the puck out. Welichka directs it in. He'll try to walk into the corner. Austin Levi's right there with him. Raquel tries to spin away from Eli. Needed a little help from his goaltender, Alex Nedeljkovic, to get that puck to the corner. That's in front of the net. Ellie takes a swipe at it. It's knocked away from him before he can get good composite on it. And then the Plymouth Whalers ice it.
And you look at this London Knights Hockey Club, and really it starts on the back end. Anthony Stolarz picked up mid-season, but Scott Harrington is the captain, and for good reason. This guy, to me, is one of the best shutdown defensemen in the entire Canadian Hockey League, and he's helped Olli Mata along the way. He's helped Nikita Zadorov along the way. He's helped Tommy Hughes along the way, and he is the anchor of arguably one of the top 3 or 4 defensive cores in all of the Canadian Hockey League.
Procheck inside his own zone. Trying to find some open ice. Spots Uvira. He'll get to center, dump it in. Tom Wilson will go to the corner against Olli Mata. Pushes Mata aside. Uvira has it poked past him. And an opportunity for Kyle Platzer. A rookie over the line for London. Drops it off for Ferry, the overager. Right back to Platzer. Oh, boy, he just missed a freight train called Tom Wilson. Cole Horvat's pinned up against the boards.
Wilson is just, he is a menace out there.
It's his ice. Try to take it from him.
You've used that term a couple of times, and I don't think it's been any more true than in this series.
Melissa, pass to Uvira. He's got Wilson on his right side, elects to shoot, and Stolarz, that blocker's been busy early on. Pass to center. Domi can't handle. Throw check. Tail end of a shift. Made a pretty good move, but fired it high. That went off the dasher board straight up in the air. Trocheck caught it, but before he could get a shot away, he was knocked down. Mata gets it to the line, and the Knights will be able to clear. Chris Tierney, he's up there with Domi. Domi now working his way to the net. Quick shot, Nedeljkovic, a little peek behind him, but he was able to squeeze it and get the whistle.
You know, the London Knights have this uncanny ability to capitalize on every chance, and it looks like a harmless 2-on-2 rush. Both guys right in the corner, but watch how quickly Domi accelerates. Those first 2 steps are like no other in the Canadian Hockey League. He picks this puck up, he shoots the hole, and gets a good opportunity on Nedeljkovic, but a good save nonetheless. That explosive ability that Domi has it's amazing to watch how quickly he gets to an area from going at a dead stop to full speed.
Ellie and Hurd on the face-off. Hurd wins the draw, and Connor Carrick rifles it around the boards. That didn't get out. Another chance. Zach Lorentz is there. Tight quarters with Hurd. Lorentz, his pass comes right back to him. That was deflected, and Anthony Stolarz stopped that low shot. Rupert's pass into the skates of Griffith. Coming the other way is Ryan Hartman. It's almost a surprise that he's back in the lineup for Plymouth. Number 21, Ryan Hartman, a key contributor, but he had suffered a bad cut. But he is back ahead of schedule. Shot through a screen by Lorentz, and Anthony Stolarz was able to get the angle and make it look easy.
Well, Anthony Stolarz is an amazing story in his own right, RJ. He got cut by 2 different junior teams. He had to travel to Albany, New York to make a team in Corpus Christi, Texas. And from there, he ends up getting a scholarship. He goes to university, feels that as the 3rd goaltender, things aren't working out there. The London Knights get him to come over midway through the season, and he has been outstanding. I think the Philadelphia Flyers got a beauty in this guy, and scout Neil Little should be credited for that.
Chris Tierney sends it ahead. Domi over the line. Drops it off for Broadhurst. That pass will be picked out by Ricard Raquel. And right back the other way. Garrett Muir's just onside was Nick Melisse was jumping into the rush, heading to the front of the net. Pass never got to him. Look out, Domi trying to sprint for Columbus. Max Domi scores! And the London Knights jump in front 1-0.
Just moments ago, we showed you a replay of Max Domi and his ability to take off. But watch him shoot this gap. He gets a step now, and although Kukurudu does a pretty good job of keeping him to the outside, it's that precision shot. It's not only the ability to skate for Domi, but his ability to shoot the puck, especially on the fly. And he's able to pick that far post and bounce it in to give the Knights the lead.
9th goal of the postseason. That leads the Knights.
4 of those in this series, RJ. I mean, he's really stepped up his game.
Yeah, he's had some big goals. Knights looking for a little more. Bo Horvat in front of the net. Ferry just fired it wide. Now Ferry's working to get that puck in front. Trocheck knocks him down. Bo Horvat in there. Ferry doing a good job against Trocheck. Now Colin McDonald. There's Horvat pinned up against the boards. Seth Griffith steals. Harrington wants to get a shot away. Griffith dumped it in deep. Mistally off the glass. Knights argued for a moment. Off the glass and out of play. No damage done. Face-off will be deep in Plymouth zone. Max Domi has the Knights up.
We're here in this auto parade. Existed for Mike Vellucci. They have not been able to get that separation, that 2-goal lead, if you will. And here they are fighting through the latter stages of the first, down 1.
High shot from Griffith. That narrowly missed. Matt Mistoli. Just 17, had 34 goals during the regular season. Number 22 for Plymouth. He's ridden hard into the boards by Tommy Hughes. Pass back to the line. Kukurudu looking for a lane. That's not easy to find against the Knights. He'll just carry it back behind the net. Kukurudu looking for Mistoli to get to it. Scott Harrington led the play. Wilson keeps it in. Mistoli puts it in deep. Trocheck along the boards. He's walked up by Hughes. Mistoli in the corner now. That's picked off by Bo Horvat. Horvat, the top-ranked prospect in this game. He's at 15. Ryan Hartman of Plymouth is 16. So an interesting battle. The game inside the game in this one tonight. Well, after all the Rolling Stones and the dancing and the singing, I think Rob Pauls has recovered. You still there, Rob?
Yeah, and the only thing that can follow it up, RJ, is talking about the UFC 159, and what a matchup with John Bones Jones and Cale Sonnen. Blim fights you can see on East Ontario, West of the Pacific tomorrow at Eastern, 5 Pacific time. That's right, Stones, UFC, we got it all covered.
One of the walkout songs might be a Stones song for one of the fighters.
Next thing you know, this guy will be eating cereal on there.
It's coming. Well, here's Ryan Hartman now for the Plymouth Whalers. From the net, Lawrence, he was all tied up by Ole Matta. Couldn't get his stick loose. Hartman zips into the corner, takes a hit. That's fine. He was one of the penalty minute leaders in the OHL. Hartman was 7th with 120 penalty minutes. That led Plymouth. He gets stood up by Connor Carey. Bromby moves it ahead to Hartman. He's at the end of the shift. So is Lawrence. He has to dump it in and head off.
You see a lot of that, the cross-corner dumping that we talked about. But, you know, if you're making a line change, it makes it obviously tough for retrieval. But something you want to do is keep it away from Stolarz.
Tierney, he had an assist on the Max Domi goal. Stick handling his way in. He gets knocked down, leaves it for Platzer behind the net. Austin Levi takes care of him, and Ricard Raquel comes in to retrieve the loose puck. That's stolen by Domi. What a first period by Domi. Gets those legs moving again. Knocked down by Raquel. The crowd at Budweiser Gardens wanted a penalty call. It's not coming.
He's got some kind of jump tonight.
Raquel, the import from Sweden. Pass doesn't get through. Vera kicks it down low. Raquel tied up in the corner by Mermis. Vera, the former Oshawa general. Not much room to maneuver. Vera barreling into the corner. Pass comes back to the line, but Levi had to let it come outside. That took a funny hop off the stanchion. No damage done. Went back behind the net for the Knights, and Tierney starts off for London. Alex Nedeljkovic plays it to his defenseman, Melissa. Goes off the boards, and Tom Wilson starts to get ahead of steam. First-round pick of the Washington Capitals. That shot is blocked by Tommy Hughes. And Sam, who watched Game 2? How many times did you look at me and just say, Tommy Hughes?
Yeah, you'll never notice him. He doesn't score a ton of points. You'll look at him, yeah, he's a +10, I think third on the Knights right now, but he will always defend against the opposition's best player, and he does a great job at it.
Well, Plymouth's got a few to choose from as far as their best players. They're out there now. Tom Wilson, Vince Trocheck, Stefan Nason. This is a potent line. Nason has the puck. Sends it in deep. Wants Tom Wilson to do some work down low, and he can be effective there. Steals the puck from Mermis. Tyler Ferry saw the hit coming. He's able to make the pass to Seth Griffith. Griffith slides it to Horvat. Now he heads to the front of the net. One shot. Stopped by Nedeljkovic and cleared by the Whalers. Under 5 minutes to go here in the first period. Just the goal from Max Domi as the Knights ahead in Game 5 of the Western Conference Championship. Knights could hoist the Wayne Gretzky Trophy with a win here tonight. Mitchell Hurd brings it in offside, and he'll just let that go and get back onside. Ryan Rupert dumps it in. Nedeljkovic leaves it behind his net. Has to play it. Remi Elie was closing on it. Comes back to Nikita Zadorov. That one almost picked up by Hartman. That went off the head, I think, of Ole Mata and out of play. Just the goal by Domi so far in Game 5.
In hockey.
Busted. We busted him. Finally, we caught him red-handed. Domi in front of that, redirected in by Broadhurst. What a first period by Max Domi. A great pass. Broadhurst puts it in. It's 2-0 Knights.
Broadhurst was not sure if he's going to be able to be in the lineup for game number 4 because of a hit he had suffered in game 3, but he comes back and scores twice in that game, and here he gets good inside position. And the one thing you have to do as a defenseman, if you can't take the body, you got to be able to take the stick, and Levi could not do either one, allowing Broadhurst to pick up his 8th of the postseason and give London that big 2-goal edge.
Great camera work. Good look at that perfect pass by Max Domi. He's been on fire. Every time he's touched the puck in this first period, something's happened. Another chance. Nedeljkovic able to make the save on Tyler Ferry.
Well, Tyler Ferry is one of those guys that you cannot win a championship without. Over the course of the last 2 years for Dale Hunter and Mark Hunter, when he was the head coach last year, he's played forward, he's played defense, he's played forward as a third defenseman, if you will, and a guy who gives you that max effort every time out. And again, not one of the guys who steps into the spotlight or who gets known or gets recognized. You don't see him in the paper, hear about him on the radio, but a guy you need to have on your team if you want to win a championship.
And he's been out there head-to-head against this Trocheck line for the Plymouth Whalers.
It's a guarantee, RJ, that Hughes is going to be out there and that Ferry's going to be out there when Wilson and Trocheck or both of them are out there.
Well, you look at what Trocheck has done. Leading the OHL in scoring during the regular season. Second only to Mark Scheifele in the postseason. Yet he's been held to 2 points in this series, and both coming in the last game. Got one on goal there, but Stolarz made the save.
Yeah, and when you look at Trocheck, held off the scoreboard for the first 3 games of the series, RJ, that had not happened since going back to last year. And definitely had not happened since he became a member of the Plymouth Whalers at the trade deadline, coming over from the Saginaw Spirit. So to think that you have to shut down guys to be able to hold the league's leading scorer off the board in 3 playoff games, that's something else. And when you talk to other people about Trocheck, everyone says, this guy is a player. Florida's got another good one there.
Mitchell Hurd sends it in deep. Ryan Hartman, he's not afraid to play the body, went barreling into Ole Mata. Knights able to weather that, and Walichka dumps it into the Plymouth bench. Well, there's other playoff action going on as we're down to only a handful of teams left.
Yeah, no score in that one. The Baie-Comeau Blainville Boisbriand just underway in Baie-Comeau. And I tell you what, Joel Bouchard, who's the head coach now, since the two coaches that have been suspended in that one. You would have had to show up in Baie-Comeau in full riot gear because they will be out of their minds cheering on Le Drakkar tonight.
Well, a bench-clearing brawl at the end of Game 4. That series is even at 2 games apiece. All 4 goalies are suspended. So all of a sudden, Baie-Comeau and Blainville-Boisbriand have to go down the depth chart a little bit in a pivotal Game 5 in that series. Oh, boy. That could have been dangerous off the referee. Came right in front of Nedeljkovic, and he read the play okay.
Well, it's odd, RJ, because both of those clubs are very lucky to have had third-string goalies who have played significant numbers. When you look back to the score sheet from that Wednesday game, yeah, Blainville wins at 4-3, but the right side indicates the penalty. And at the final buzzer, things started to go haywire. Cedric Paquette, who plays for Blainville-Boisbriand, getting into it. Fights all over the ice. The backups into it. The coaches yelling and screaming at one another. Several suspensions, I think 15 in total, including both coaches. Fines levied. What a circus.
Off the face-off, Scott Harrington got a shot on goal. The captain of the Knights.
Two-time World Junior, and I got a real kick going to the World Junior camp last year. Everyone's saying, who's this Scott Harrington guy? I said, just give him some time. And it turned out before he hurt his shoulder to be Canada's best defenseman in that event.
Connor Carrick jumps into the play, drops it off for Tom Wilson. He tried blocker side but missed the net. That takes a funny hop off the stanchion. We've seen a couple off that stanchion in the corner take strange hops. Put that one in the memory bank.
Yeah, there's been a couple of weird ones down at that end. You look at Stefan Nason of the Plymouth Whalers, and the guy that Ian Trocheck, to me, really needs to step up if Plymouth wants to continue on with this series here. I mean, there's two guys who, throughout the course of the regular season, had the ability to put up top points and have struggled to find the board here in this series.
Both guys better than a point per game in both the regular season and the postseason. Domi's out there again with Tierney and Broadhurst. This has been the most effective line for the Knights. They've accounted for both goals tonight. Mister can't get his pass past Ole Maddow. Maddow will join this rush. Tierney gets to the line. Stopped by Austin Levi. This comes about a foot outside the zone, and Tierney will try to find some space to get it back inside that Plymouth. And Zadorov takes a hit from Miskelly, sends it in. Alex Nedeljkovic moves it. Colin McDonald, he's the captain of the Plymouth Whalers, also a London native.
A 14th round pick, and you talk about a guy who can come in and be a captain here in his overage year. Big stuff for a late round pick.
Knights relentless, keeping this puck in the Plymouth zone. Pass back to Wolitzka, just a little bit behind him, and Scott Harrington takes his time, lets his teammates clear the zone. Remy Alley, didn't take long for him to get in on the forecheck. Bird gets double-teamed, able to make the pass to Austin Levi and Zach Lorenz. The former Kitchener Ranger sends it into the corner. Ryan Hartman's there first. Chops at it. That goes up high, well wide. Wolitzka judged to center. Ellie's calling for the pass. Wolitzka gets it to him, but it's poked aside before he can get a shot. And the net is off. And who's that? It's Ryan Rupert slow to get up.
There's a shocker. Rupert going hard to the net. His brother Matt still out of the lineup.
Well, he's drawn a penalty.
As he goes hard to the net, it'll be Hurd. You can see it left side of your screen. Hurd takes him down. It looks to me as if Rupert was already on his way down, but nonetheless, it'll end up resulting in the Plymouth penalty to Mitchell Hurd. And with 37.6 seconds left, the London Knights can really do a good job of taking all the confidence away from Plymouth with a goal here in this power play.
Well, we talked about in the open, Sam, that no lead has been safe. In fact, the Knights did have a 3-0 first period lead, and that hung around in Game 3 until the third. Found themselves down 4-3 and had to come back to win 6-4. So This one might have a little more drama for us.
Yeah, this series has had nothing but momentum changes.
Griffith back to Mata. 10 seconds to go in the period. Domi waits. Tried to go up high, short side. Nedeljkovic was able to block that. That clearing by the Plymouth Whalers will do it for the first period.
That leaky roof will cost you thousands.
Area that can really take away from your confidence, which I already think is wavering for Plymouth.
Austin Levi inside his own zone. Fires it over everybody's head. He'll force the Knights to start 200 feet away. Holy Mata wastes no time behind his own net. Mata over the line, but I think it was Seth Griffith was half a stride offside.
Yeah, and that's the one thing we saw in the power play for London in that first period. It was a little disjointed, and their entries were really, really difficult. That starts with that good first pass from your defenseman, and then that trickles through to the forwards up front, such as Domi, Horvath, and Griffith now out there.
Knights 0 for 1 on the power play in this game. Their second opportunity with a man advantage. 7 power play goals they've scored in this series. Broadhurst, he can't get through 3 Whalers that were waiting there for him. Get it on this guy's stick. That's a good plan. Here's Domi now, picking up some speed, makes a great move. Domi walking into the slot, tried to drop it off. And Trocheck got in there to break it up. And Trocheck takes a hit from Horvath. Trocheck again with it. Domi got in front of him, comes to the line. Mata in front of the net and off the skate of Griffith, and that goes out of play, and the faceoff will come outside the line.
Yeah, a little too cute for Vincent Trocheck there. He had the opportunity behind the net to get that puck down the ice. Instead, he tried to be cute and execute a breakout, and it didn't quite work out that way. And you look at a couple of different power play units for the London Knights. I mean, Bo Horvath and Max Domi leading the way with 4 goals apiece in this series, but it extends down the list. You look at Broadhurst, even Ryan Rupert, and when you get that kind of balanced scoring, it makes it really tough for the opposition to match up against it.
Second unit out there now for the Knights. Final 20 seconds of the power play. Kirkarudo loses an edge. Nick Malisa's defense partner, he saw that, got over to save the day and send the puck down the ice. Nikita Zadorov, the Russian import. Big 6'5" defenseman. Wheels to center. He dumps it in, runs into Malisa, and that allows Nedeljkovic a chance to play it, and it's out to center. Mitchell Hurd's back on the ice. Plymouth's back to full strength. They've killed off 2 nice power plays in this game. Tierney intercepts behind the net. Wolichko was there, but an alert play by Giancarlo Kirkarudo to send it outside the zone. Gianluca Kirkarudo sends it to center. Huge hit by Zadorov on Tom Wilson. And now Hurd confronts Zadorov, and they drop the gloves. Zadorov trying to use that reach against Mitchell Hurd. Hurd an overager. Zadorov, 17 years old. Zadorov gets that right hand loose. Hurd lands a right uppercut. Now he's got his right hand loose. Can't throw it though. A couple uppercuts from Zadorov. Zadorov's second fight in this series. And Nikita Zadorov is making his mark. A big hit, a fight, and Budweiser Gardens is on its feet.
Well, Zadorov reminds me of Bam Bam from the Flintstones. He just does not know how strong he is. And here he takes out Tom Wilson, who surely can fend for himself. But Hurd doesn't give him that opportunity. He says, yes, we need a spark, and yes, I'm going to do it against the biggest guy. A massive hit there by Zadorov on Wilson. And don't think Wilson didn't take that number into account. And you go back to Game 3 in a situation where Hurd goes right up into the head of Broadhurst. He served a 1-game suspension, which was Game 4, and it was only decided just before game time that he'd be allowed to play here in Game 2, especially with the fact that Broadhurst was able to come back and pick up a couple of goals in that Game 4. And so he goes at the rough stuff again. So too does Bam Bam Zadorov. And those 2 combatants will sit for the next 5 and Hurd an extra deuce for the instigator.
That will put the Knights back on the power play.
That's the last thing you want to do is get that extra penalty for the instigator. And so when you look at a situation where you want to exact revenge, you have to pick maybe a better spot than that, especially down 2-0. But give him credit for sticking up for his teammate.
Mata off the draw. His shot was blocked before he got to the net. Comes outside the line now. Mata watched closely by Raquel. Couple of nice moves. Bought himself some time. Nedeljkovic. Bouncing puck. Left it behind his net. Seth Griffith. Property of the Boston Bruins. Has trouble getting away from Levi. Horvat trying to track it down. Big Austin Levi able to keep it along the boards. Mata's behind the net. The defenseman in front. Oh, Horvat scores! A power play goal! The Knights are up 3-0.
Dale Hunter looked at his first two power plays that were relatively ineffective for London. So he said, all right, guys, go out and get one. Do what you have to do. And so you look at a guy like Olli Mata, who's supposed to be anchored in the back end. Here he is hanging around the front of the net, but realizes with the loose puck getting to him that he's able to draw attention and then dish it off to Horvat. And you have to watch Horvat. The right side of your screen, he emerges from the corner, and as soon as Mata picks up that puck, what does a good goal scorer like Horvat do? He goes to the front of the net and gets rewarded.
Well, Max Domi's playoff scoring lead for the Knights didn't last long. Horvat is now tied him at 9. Plymouth needs some offense. What a sequence, though. Early with that hit by Zadorov, gets in a fight. Knights wind up on the power play, and then they score, and they're up by 3.
They capitalize as good as any team in the Canadian Hockey League. When given the opportunities, especially when needed most, they find a way to reach down and get it done. This movie has been seen before in this series. A 3-0 lead for London evaporated in 8 minutes in game number 3, I believe it was.
Anthony Stolarz, he'll try to prevent that from happening. There's a test, and he answers it.
Well, in the power play with an aggressive kill, you have to be good with your stick and work extremely hard to maintain possession. And you see both Domi and Horvat down there. But watch Horvat take off. And the thing about Horvat is he doesn't go lightning quick to the front of the net. He finds that patient spot where he knows the gap will open up where he can get the puck back from Mata. Brilliant, brilliant play by the Ox for Horvat.
Pretty good work by Max Domi down low, too, on the much bigger defenseman, Colin McDonald.
They're just working in the corner, digging that puck free. Mata sneaks down from his defensive post and is able to dish it off to Horvat, but quite a game for that young man so far.
We hear so much now about young players and star players in the NHL. It's that lower body strength, and Max Domi certainly has that.
Talking a lot about Martin St. Louis, where the Hunter brothers in the coach's room before the game, and how he's got such a great lower end, a big, what they call thick rear end. And they used it as an example, and they took pictures and video from the Tampa Bay Lightning, Martin St. Louis, and showed the guys in their room, here's what pro legs look like. And many of them feel that Max Domi already is well on his way to having those pro legs.
And another name got brought up too, and that, of course, Sidney Crosby.
We talked about the 2005 MasterCard Memorial Cup played here at the Budweiser Gardens, and London thought they'd come out and physical him away from the puck, and that didn't work out.
London up by 3, buzzing again inside the Plymouth zone. Where are the big guns for the Whalers? Tom Wilson's out there. He's got some speed. Trying to track this puck down. Stolarz moves it out of harm's way. Not out, though. Trocheck has it along the boards. Back to Connor Carrick. He can be a dynamic defenseman to pick up points. Tom Wilson, he erases Griffith along the boards. Levi is shot. That one goes off the glass. Tom Wilson comes up with it. Rivera's shot. Stopped by Stolarz. The rebound there. And it goes to the boards. Tom Wilson relentless going after it. And the safe play by Olli Mata off the glass and out. It's iced by the Knights. But they'll take that face off.
Archie, we've talked about this on a couple of occasions, how that icing is called differently here in the Ontario Hockey League, where you're still able to make that change. So it becomes a weapon for you when you're tired defensively. And why are the Knights tired defensively? Good offensive pressure. The shot from Avira there, off the pass from Wilson, and a great save there by Stolarz. You talk about making that timely save. You're up 3-0. You have all the momentum. The building's loud, and it continues to get louder after that stop by Stolarz.
Shots are 14-12 for the Knights. So Stolarz hasn't had an off night by any means. Face-off goes to Raquel, heading to the front of the net. The Anaheim pick. Sharp angle shot. Stolarz was up to that task. Pucks up in the air. Tierney saw trouble, so he spun away from it. Domi lofts it out to center. Levi can't handle it. Tierney streaks in, drops it off. Broadhurst back to Tierney. And getting back just in time was Cody Payne to break out. Domi runs into Nason, and he goes airborne. He's okay. He's hustling to get back in the play. Nason tries to move it down low. Puck cleared again by the Knights. Knights are offside, so they'll have to regroup. That gives Austin Levi plenty of time to glide out of his own zone. Stolarz catches that about a foot off the ice at the tip of his blue paint. He'll hang on, and Cody Payne's in there causing a little bit of trouble.
Good communication there by Dakota Mermis. You heard him yell to Stolarz, hold on. He knew that there was pressure coming down upon him, and so Stolarz gets the stoppage as Payne tries to create a ruckus. Domi back at it again, and just flying through the air and just loving life. Telling Damian Cox in the feature at the intermission that he comes to the rink with a smile on his face, and it very rarely leaves.
Well, Cody Payne heads off and takes Scott Harrington with him.
Good trade-off for Plymouth.
Yeah, Plymouth won't be upset to see him sit for two.
A couple of top-flight defensemen sitting in the box now for London. This might be a good opportunity for Plymouth to take advantage of that.
And they've got Trocheck, Wilson out there, along with the smooth skating defenseman Connor Carrick. Washington 5th-round pick. A couple of Washington picks. Caps did okay with the Plymouth Whalers and Carrick and Tom Wilson. Wilson redirects it on. That was tricky. Stopped by Stolarz. Wilson tries to work his way to the front of the net. How about Ole Mata staying with him?
Well, Mata got pounded in game number 4, and he showed no ill effects. He came right back here, started to take a beating in this game, and now starting to initiate it.
Seth Griffith calmly inside his own zone. Gets away from Trocheck. Lightly dumps it in. There's 3 Whalers back there. Griffith's by himself. Carrick spins, drops it off for Curtis Crombie, the Sarnia native. Head to Trocheck. Carrick will jump into the play. Tom Wilson heading to the front of the net. Carrick waiting for him to get there. The pass doesn't get through. Carrick still has it in the corner. Carrick, an Illinois native, gets it in front. Stolarz is down, and Stolarz is able to hang on to it long enough to get the whistle. Now Horvat gets knocked down.
Do it during the course of play, do it cleanly, but stuff like that after the whistle, you put yourself at risk of taking the penalty, even if it's a bad call.
It's a power play for the Knights. It's 4-on-3. Domi fans on that one-time attempt. Broadhurst gets it back to Domi. He'll send it over to Broadhurst. Domi again. Griffith is poised, waiting for it, doesn't shoot it. Domi does. Oh, it's off the post, I think. It trickled past Nedeljkovic. Didn't go in. Domi creeping closer to the net. There's a shot from Griffith. That's blockered aside by Nedeljkovic. Goes right back to Griffith. Domi. Broadhurst. Shot angle. Scores! Another goal on the power play. Broadhurst is second. It's 4-0 London.
And it's the teams that go to work, 16, 17, and 18. Domi at the top of your screen, the lower part of your screen is Griffith, and Broadhurst, number 18, far side, takes the one-timer. It was just a matter of time, and I like how the Knights set this thing up. It's like a shooting range. You throw your 2 guys out on the wing because you know Plymouth has to keep that tight triangle and allow shots from either side, thinking that at one point it's going to work for you, and it did for Broadhurst to pick up his second there.
Well, Max Domi will surely get an assist. He has 4 points. He's been in on all 4 of the Knights' goals so far tonight. We're still 4-on-4 for the next 20 seconds. Harrington and Payne will come out at that point. Levi, he's in on the rush. Hitting Ole Mata. Mata spinning away from that trouble. Trocheck trying to move it down deep, and there's Tommy Hughes. Got it out left to center. Mata's in on this rush. Mata, he doesn't shoot. Dumps it in instead. Domi streaks in. Now we'll play 5-on-5. Harrington and Payne are back on the ice. Puck comes to Cody Payne. Payne's has to Trocheck, then direct right on Stolars, and that is an easy save for him.
Domi, a sensational night here for the London Knights as Cody Payne now tries to get in and get physical. And here's a guy who grew up in Western Florida. And he grew up playing hockey with Colin Sulentrop, a defenseman with the Oshawa Generals. And Payne really actually learned to ply his trade the same way Sulentrop did, playing roller hockey. Decided to move to Ontario for his minor midget years. Drafted by Oshawa and then acquired by the Plymouth Whalers.
And he can say he was traded for Jaromir Jagr.
Yeah, it was in that deal too. That's right.
That's right. His rights were traded from Boston to Dallas in the Jagr deal.
Good claim to fame.
I'd use it.
Definitely want to be able to say at some point, though, that Jagr was traded for me.
Yeah, that's right. Overa. Danish import, got it to Nason. Ryan Rupert not letting Nason get away. Rupert, the 6th-round pick of the Maple Leafs. Off the glass to the line. Colin McDonald kept it in. Deflected a couple of times. Didn't get to the net. It's still loose. McDonald another crack at shooting. And it's blocked by Tierney and goes into the Plymouth zone. Barrett trying to get those wheels going. Ryan Rupert knocks him down, and he's going to get a penalty. It will be the first power play of the game for Plymouth.
McCarrick's one of two mobile defensemen for the Plymouth Whalers, so when he gets up to go, and he's still ailing from the hit, but he makes one last jig move at the last second, and you can see Rupert gets his knee out and brings Carrick to the ice. And so you want to take an opportunity to get yourself back in the game if you're the Plymouth Whalers. No better time than right now.
Knights lead at 4-0. They've scored twice on the power play. Plymouth's first opportunity with a man advantage. Over the last 3 games, they're rolling at over 33%. Trocheck. His shot block comes to the line. Cucuruto gets over there in time. Only Mata intercepts the pass from Gianluca Cucuruto. And now Bo Horvat wastes as much time as he can before he dumps it into the Plymouth zone. Trocheck to Nason. Right back to Trocheck. OHL's leading point getter. At 109 points during the regular season. Number 25 for Plymouth. Carrick spinning. Mata doesn't let that pass get in front. Tracked down by Broadhurst. And he sends it the length of the ice.
Well, London not showing any ill signs here on the penalty kill, and you'll see a huge collapse of 4 green jerseys every time that puck gets anywhere near Stolars.
Tom Wilson, he leads the rush this time. Big Tom Wilson trying to tuck it in. Trocheck picks up the loose puck. Moves it to Wilson. Quickly back to Cucuruto. Cucuruto was 10th in defenseman scoring in the OHL. Wilson back to Cucuruto. Quick stick handle deflected by Trocheck, and Anthony Stolars got over, and he hangs on.
Well, you look at these Plymouth Whalers, and Tom Wilson, while he's been a menace all series long, has 6 goals. That's 6 of the 13 that Plymouth has in this series, but there's a big drop-off after that. Raquel with 2, and then a couple of others with 1 apiece. And you talk about guys like Trocheck, who led the league in scoring, Stefan Nason, a point-per-game player in the regular season. Those 2 have combined for just 6 points here in 4+ games, and that's not good enough. Your best players need to be your best players. They need to get more out of those 2 in particular.
35 seconds to go in this power play. Cucuruto. That shot's off the stick of Bo Horvat, and that's nothing new for Horvat, blocking shots on the penalty kill.
Well, Gianluca Cucuruto started his career in Sault Ste. Marie, and you go back 2 years ago at the NHL Research and Development Camp, this guy was touted as a 1st or 2nd round pick, and his game kind of went downhill. But I tell you, watching him in this series, he's back. Columbus has a steal in the 7th round. I love the way this guy's game has come along, and now he's become a real top-force defenseman here in the Ontario Hockey League.
Last 20 seconds of the power play for the Whalers. Carrick ahead to Raquel. Hits him in full flight. Raquel over the line. The Swedish import on his backhand. Sends it back to Kirkaruda. Now Carrick winds but doesn't fire. Kirkaruda has to use his skate. Now he shoots it. Pound save. Rebound. Stolarz is over. Puck still loose. Knight's able to get it behind the net. Back on the ice is Rupert. Pressure's still on here for the Whalers, though. Kirkaruda trying to find a seam. That's kicked aside. Now a shot from Mueller's. Horvath. He lofts it up high, and the Knights clear the zone. They've killed off the penalty, and they've kept Plymouth off the scoreboard midway through this game. Connor Carrick. That pass misses all his teammates, and it is icing against Plymouth. The Knights have 4 shots in this period. They've scored on 2 of them. It's a 4-0 lead for London.
Darling.
Connor Carrick being forechecked by Platzer, spins away from him. Platzer stayed on him, so he moved it to Colin McDonald. McDonald's pass. Ellie goes the other way. That might have hit the linesman. Comes back to the line, and Mata just kept that onside. Gets it to Mermis. He's got some room. He tried to make the pass in front of the net. Ellie to Platzer all alone. Oh, he's stopped. Platzer had all day. That's a big save for Alex Nedeljkovic. Can't go down by 5. Payne. He tried to go top shelf, and it's knocked up over the glass, and that goes out of play.
I think that would have been nighty-night if Platzer's able to bury that one. But again, good pressure and from some unsuspecting sources here for the Knights. You're used to seeing Griffith and Domi and Broadhurst, but here it's Ellie to Platzer. Goes to the forehand, and it goes right off the edge of the skate of Nedeljkovic. And good job by the 17-year-old netminder to not give up. Almost sparked Payne at the other end of the ice.
Shots are 16-6 this period for Plymouth. They haven't been able to solve Anthony Stolarz. And the Knights just keep adding on to their lead. Another 2 this period. That's deflected. Just missed the far side. Melissa sends it in deep. Matt Nistoli, he gets tangled up with Scott Harrington. Tommy Hughes pushes Trocheck aside and comes out of his own zone. Seth Griffith to Tyler Ferry. Bo Horvath. That shot is blocked. Not out of the zone. Zadorov. Mata gets a little closer. Doesn't shoot. Ferry loses it in the corner. Crombie. He can't get it out. Mata drops it off, and Ferry's the one who retrieves it. Melissa fans on it. Crombie gets him another crack at it. He doesn't get it past Ferry. Crombie to the line. Mata will hang around, move it in front to Ferry. Slices it over to Griffith. Horvath's there, and Alex Nedeljkovic has it underneath him. And he will hang on for the whistle. The Knights continuing to push in Game 5 of the Western Conference Championship.
What if this summer was the summer?
Satisfied with that spot, the way he's rolling tonight.
Yeah, I don't think those guys don't know exactly where they are. They might tell you publicly that they never look at the lists. I don't buy it for a second.
Tom Wilson, he's got a head of steam. Low shot, save Stolarz. Nason brought it to the front of the net. Couldn't get a good shot though. Ricard Raquel. Tom Wilson comes up with it in the corner. Tries to move it in front. Harrington and Hughes playing together out there. Stolarz able to reach out and make a first baseman-like grab.
Well, the Colts open the scoring in that one, but Belleville has since taken the lead on Quine's 6th of the playoffs. No score between Plainville and Baie-Comeau, but as you said, RJ, who's going to score? Everyone's suspended. Calgary and Edmonton gets going a little later on, and that's been a wild back-and-forth affair. And the Portland Winterhawks looking to punch their ticket for this 3rd straight year in the Edge Chinook Cup final.
I guess the flip side of that Baie-Comeau-Blainville-Boisbriand series is you've got 3rd-string goalies in. The top 2 on each team are suspended, so should be able to score. Yeah. Another test for Nedeljkovic. He has to shut the door now. Under 5 to go here in the second period. His team's down by 4.
They're one of those role players for Dale Hunter, Welichka, and Mike Vellucci looking up and down his bench, just trying to find an answer, trying to find something to give his club confidence. And that's been such a tough thing when you're constantly fighting to get into a tie or to hang on to a lead. It makes it really tough. You just don't have that kind of breathing room, and you wear down your top players because you consistently have to go to them. And you know, when you look at this Plymouth Hockey Club, it's been fighting one thing against another. You're fighting puck luck. At times, Mike Vellucci felt like he's been fighting the officials and fighting against London leads. And it's been tough. It's been that kind of series. But you look at this hockey club and you look at the way the series has gone, it doesn't deserve to end in 5 games, but that may very well be the case.
No, you're right. It has not been easy for the London Knights, but they've found a way. Tyler Ferry, he takes a rare penalty, an interference call.
It is in the
up near the line.
Top of your screen, or right side of your screen, rather.
Second power play for Plymouth. They failed to convert on their first chance.
It's funny, RG, Mike Vellucci really took the temperature of his room before this game and said he felt confident with his group. You know, you get into the situation, you're down 3-1, you think you're up against Mount Everest, and you think maybe guys are going to shut it down. But Plymouth has had a lot of pushback in this game, just haven't been able to score.
Well, one of those reasons they haven't been able to score is Anthony Stolarz has been sharp when he's been tested.
And that's just it. He's done a really good job at making timely saves. And, you know, you look at the 32-save performance in Game 1 to win 2-1, and then you look at a couple of 6-4 wins, and you think, this guy's like Jack Morris. He does what he needs to do when he needs to do it.
Deflected save. The rebound goes just wide. Wilson, a chance. That didn't get through. Another chance blocked by Harrington. Oh, boy. The Knights are under pressure, but Plymouth just can't buy one. And London clears it down with 1:10 to go on the power play. Kirkarudo. He can't get past Ryan Rupert. Stefan Nason. Over to Trocheck. Wilson reaches for it. Kirkarudo gets it to Carroll. Quick shot. That one just missed. Tom Wilson sends it into the corner. Wilson in tight quarters with Olimata. Plymouth maintains possession. Kirkarudo has to head in to retrieve. Kirkarudo gets it to Carrick. Carrick can't get a shot past Mata. Mata dives to get it out. Doesn't. Kirkarudo got there just in time. Hughes whips it around, and Kirkarudo, he can't get to the other side quick enough. Back and forth.
You know, the London Knights preach shot blocking. That's something that they teach. And it makes it oh so tough when they are consistently in a lane.
Final few seconds of the power play. Another great chance, and that's sent high by Hartman. Hartman leaves it. It goes all the way over to Raquel. The stick of Nedeljkovic letting his teammates know the penalty's over. Side of the net. It goes through the blue paint, and nobody there for the Whalers. Raquel fires. Hartman scores. Plymouth. Tons of pressure, and finally they get rewarded. Ryan Hartman has the Whalers on the board. They're down 4-1.
Just when you think the Whalers are dead for rights, the power play ends. They've got nothing to show for it, but they continue to forge forward and finally get an opportunity. I mean, you see it from Kukurudo's shot. It's lying on the doorstep. Hartman can't get it. Look at Hartman. He's knocked down. He says, you know what? I'm not going to give up on this play. He goes back to the front of the net, and he gets rewarded with a second chance opportunity off the rebound. Wide open net for Hartman here in his second game in this series, dealing with an upper body issue.
We've seen the Whalers in this series. They can score in bunches. Hartman's still out there. Gets away from a check behind the net. Hartman's pass. Broken up by Tierney. Comes to the line. Knights another chance to clear. Finally they do. Two minutes to go. In the second period, pucks in front of the Plymouth goal. Ricard Raquel has Garrett Muir speeding to the front of the net. Over to Hartman. Hartman to Muirs. Stolarz a save. The rebound gets right back out in front and chopped down the ice by the Knights. And again, the Knights will ice the puck. They'll take the whistle to relieve this pressure that Plymouth is putting on.
RJ, you wonder about this Plymouth Whalers team. They don't get talked about much, but who are these guys? And you wonder if they have the ability to score. Well, let's check it out. Nason, Raquel, and Wilson, all first-round National Hockey League picks. 8 other players have been drafted, starting with Trocheck in the second round and moving down the list. And then you've got Ryan Hartman, who just scored, who's projected to go in the first round this year. So this team is not to be taken lightly.
Stefan Nason moves it to Kirkarudo. He'll loft that into the corner. Trocheck's the first man to it. Nason tried to shovel it in front. Scott Harrington gets it to the line, and Knights are back out into the neutral zone. Nason's pass right to Trocheck. Harrington breaks up another one. Tom Wilson a shot, and Stolarz, he squeezes it and gets the face-off.
You see Mike Vellucci go back to this top line of Wilson, Trocheck, and Nason to try and get on the board at least once more. And some of that confidence they were looking for. I watched the bench after the Hartman goal, and they were all up and excited. And really, I think, strongly feel, especially the way this series has gone, that they still feel like they have a chance to come back in this game. And a goal here in the final minute 20 of this frame would go a long way in doing that.
You talked about it earlier, Sam. In Game 3, they were down 3 goals in the third period and came back to take the lead with 4 unanswered.
In about an 8-minute stretch, and then things started to go sideways after that. Ended up losing that game 6-4, but there should be some confidence gleaned from that ability to score and score quickly.
Minute 20 to go here in the second period. Plymouth controls off the faceoff. Sebastian Uvera behind the net. Mitchell Hurd tries to get it in front. Stolarz is down the puck. Back in the corner, Uvera has it for Plymouth. Cole Horvat squeezes Uvera up against the board. Zach Lorentz, he has Ole Matt on his back. And Seth Griffith pokes it past Kirkarudo, but Kirkarudo a good fight to make sure that Griffith didn't break away.
Yeah, good strength shown there by Kirkarudo.
45 seconds to go in the period. Connor Carrick. You better hurry. Ryan Rupert staying right with him. Carrick's in on the line. Rivera, his backhander goes through the top of the crease. Rivera again. That's in front of the net. Carrick spins, shoots, glove save, Stolarz. A huge save by Anthony Stolarz late in the period.
Stolarz really good with his hands. We've seen several blocker saves in this game, but the glove equally as good. And Carrick tries to utilize the element of surprise, a spin and fire. But you can see Stolarz has a very good, clean look at that. Excellent camera work to show you that that lane was unimpeded by any Whalers in front. And so Stolarz, with that clean look, able to make the stop.
What a reaction by Carrick, the frustration. Off the faceoff, he's got a lane to the net. Who else? Scott Harrington got down and put an end to that attempt. Domi off the glass, sends it into the Plymouth zone. Won't be icing. 10 seconds to go now in the second period. Stolarz has to stay in his net. Tommy Hughes goes to the corner against Hartman. Trocheck looking for a loose puck. And Tommy Hughes able to kill off the final few seconds of the period. And the London Knights, they score 2, but Plymouth might be able to take just a little bit of momentum with that late goal from Ryan Hart.
Brett up here in the press box at the intermission. He said he went down to talk to Dylan and said, nah, maybe I'll wait till later.
Well, this is it for the Plymouth Whalers. Their season's on the line. Game 6. They need to try to force it. Here in Game 5, they have to win to get to that Game 6. It's the Western Conference Championship. Knights lead the series 3-1. They lead this game 4-1. Broadhurst drops it off for Domi. Domi's had 4 points tonight. And the puck goes right on. And Nedeljkovic will hang on to get the whistle.
Domi down on his can once again, and this line has been really good with Griffith and Broadhurst. And Broadhurst is an interesting story, a 7th-round pick in the 2011 draft by the Chicago Blackhawks. Spent the last couple of seasons in the USHL. but was property of the Knights. And so when he too, like Anthony Stolarz, was committed to the University of Nebraska Omaha, both gave up their scholarships to come play here in London, and the Knights are happy to have them both.
I want to thank all our viewers across Canada on Sportsnet and welcome our U.S. viewers watching us on Comcast tonight. Tommy Hughes inside his own zone, recently signed by the New York Rangers. Gianluca Turcarito, he's being forechecked, had some reinforcements, and Vince Trocheck goes the other way. Trocheck drops it off. Mason can't get a shot away. Bo Horvat bothered him just enough.
RJ, you're welcoming most viewers. If you have not been familiar with this series, you might want to stick around. What looks like a surefire 4-1 lead. No lead has been safe throughout the course of this series, and momentum changes have come at the drop of a dime, and you'd expect that here in the third as well.
The team that won the last 3 games trailed at some point in those games. So comebacks are the norm. To center, Ellie can't get it in deep. Sebastian Uvera takes over. Ryan Rupert does a flyby. Uvera starts out for Plymouth. Cross-ice pass. Crombeen doesn't handle it clean, and Dakota Murmas retrieves it in his own zone, puts it off the glass, and that won't get it. Crombeen kept it in a couple of times. Will that lead to something? Lorentz behind the net. It's on top of the net. Knights trying to freeze it, and Ole Mata did track it down. I don't know if Stolarz knew it was on top of his net, but his defenseman did.
And that's all that counts is the stoppage. And you look at Dale Hunter and the London Knights just trying to hang on here. One thing familiar with the Knights game is that they have no issues trapping whatsoever. You see Rupert up top, but you don't see any other green jerseys until we extend that lens a little bit, and then 4 jerseys in that neutral zone. What happens? Puck gets dumped in, no one there for Plymouth to retrieve it. And like a ping pong, the Knights have no issue whatsoever with icing the puck. They're very confident in their centerman to be able to win draws with Tierney, with Horvat. And so if icing is an issue, not a problem with this 4-1 lead.
Off the face-off, Hartman tried to get a shot through, was blocked by the Knights. That's not clear. Raquel trying to stick handle, but Tommy Hughes pins him up against the boards. Tierney gets it ahead to Domi, slashes at it, and it comes out to center. Max Domi. He's by himself on this rush. Looking good, too. Finally, Mears takes it from him. Pass to Hartman. He has to wait for it. Hits it on one hop. Domi at the line. Gets it out. This won't be icy. Connor Carrick, 5th-round pick of the Washington Capitals. Put up a lot of points in this postseason. That one trickles down to Stolarz. Plays it on his backhand. Raquel picks that off. Broadhurst has it now. Alex Broadhurst didn't get past that hip check from Hartman. Keeps on trucking them. Hartman's even knocking his own players down. Just wants the puck. Tom Wilson to Trocheck. Trocheck behind the net. Vince Trocheck just 2 points in this series. That one's knuckled to the corner. Giving Ferry a chance to clear, and he makes no mistake. Play is whistled down. A boarding penalty coming up. And Tom Wilson's heading to the penalty box, much to the delight of the crowd at Budweiser Gardens.
And Wilson best just get off the ice here. He may not like the call, but he can ill afford to get anything extra. And he is a marked man. Has been throughout the course of his career just because he's so big and because he skates so well, because he's a first-round pick. All of those things put him on the radar every time he's out on the ice.
There's no light hits when Tom Wilson comes.
No, he plays for keeps.
Knights have been good on the power play. 2 for 4. Their 5th opportunity. Ole Mata. He's the quarterback of this power play. Lone defenseman out there in this first unit for the Knights. Max Domi. He zips into the Plymouth zone. Quick move. Big save by Nedeljkovic. That was a tough shot. Cole Horvath behind the net. Shot from Brothers, kind of golfed at it and caught by Alex Nedeljkovic.
So Domi again showing off his wares, and that's one of his signature moves. He makes it look like with the angle of the stick that he's going to take it outside, but instead he drags it back and shoots it, and that element of surprise has definitely defeated more than one goalie in the Ontario Hockey League through the course of this season.
Off the face-off, Tierney, a great chance. That was stopped by Nedeljkovic. Knights on the power play, and a second effort by Trocheck gets that puck out, and he needs a change. Nikita Zadorov, he's made his mark in this game. Couple of big hits, had a scrap. Moves it down low to Kyle Platzer. Platzer, the rookie from Waterloo. Over to Tierney, back to Zadorov, return feed. Tierney had to chase after it. Raquel looking for a short-handed break. Zadorov made sure that didn't happen. Chris Tierney works his way inside the Plymouth zone. Then he sets up shot. Platzer's pass goes to Rupert. Down low, Tierney has it. Tierney looking for someone open. Zadorov's calling for it, and it gets to him. Platzer. Zadorov. Zadorov walks in. Snapshot. Blocked aside by Nedeljkovic. Comes back in front, and the Whalers are able to clear the zone with no time left on the penalty to Tom Wilson. The Whalers, they had to kill that one off, and they did. They're still down by just 3. Platzer chases it inside the offensive zone, and it's offside on London.
Wilson came into this game with 6 goals in the series, 6 of the 13 to the point when the series started. And there are times when he plays on the edge, and there are times when he goes above and beyond it. When he plays right on that edge, he is one of the most effective players in the league. But when he crosses that line and takes himself out of the play, and we've seen that on a couple of occasions tonight, rendered ineffective because he's simply not on the ice.
Well, time is the enemy of the Whalers. They've got to get this offense clicking. Just over 14 minutes to go in the third. They're down by 3. The Knights, we might see a lot of this. They'll clear it down. They'll ice it. In the OHL, you can change on the icings. They'll take face-offs. They don't mind.
Yeah, it'll be a bit of a ping-pong match here, and Mike Belucci's team is going to have to fight through that because London will get in that trap, 4 guys in the neutral zone, but Plymouth will dump in the puck, and London will say, yeah, we don't care, we'll just simply ice the puck again and look for the reset. So your centermen for Plymouth are going to be really key here. Vincent Trocheck won 25 of 30 draws in game number 4. Mitchell Hurd's out there now. They're going to need to win a lot more face-offs to negate some of the icings by London.
And Ryan Rupert came straight off the bench to take that face-off and won it. Knights can't get the puck out though. Matt Mistoli, 34-goal scorer in the regular season. Carrick's shot, and that's off the stick of Tyler Perry. Goes way up and out of play. 13:49 to go here in the executive Western Conference Championship. Chance to do it in 5 games. In the driver's seat in this one, up by 3. Plymouth trying to get a late one. It's loose. Hartman's in front. It's just going to clear the zone. Plymouth had their chances.
Looking a lot like the Whalers did at the end of that second period when they had a huge push.
That dump in by Raquel, that didn't hit anything. It went out of play, so now the face-off will come just outside the Whalers line.
Being as big as he is, Stolarz has the definite advantage that when he goes down, he still covers a large portion of the net. He is extremely quick down low, and you see him recover there with no harm done. 34 saves for the Philadelphia Flyers second rounder.
Face-off win for the Knights. They fire it in. There's a bad hop off of Stanchion. Red fine by Gianluca Cucuruto. It's dumped into the Knights zone. Scott Harrington takes a look over both shoulders. Rattles it right back into the neutral zone. 2-on-1 for the Knights. Bo Horvath has Seth Griffin. Griffin, and it's stopped by Nedeljkovic. Another chance. Just missed. What a well-executed 2-on-1. And that might have iced it. Huge stop by Nedeljkovic.
So many questions from Mike Vellucci as to whether or not he'd go to Matt Mahalik, who ended game number 4, or go back to the 17-year-old Nedeljkovic. And on the 4 goals we've seen here tonight, he hasn't had the chance on 3 of them.
Interesting play there where Seth Griffith tried to move Tyler Ferry, his teammate's stick ahead, and almost broke up the play for the Whalers. That might have wound up as a penalty had it done so as far as breaking up the play goes. Mitchell Hurd gets it to Duvir. Stolarz behind his net. He's checked. He's out of position. Puck's kicked out, and it goes right to Remi Elie. You talked about the puck luck earlier, Sam, and it's continuing to go the Knights' way.
Yeah, it's getting nasty down there now. I mean, Hurd and Zadorov almost got into it again. Zadorov didn't want any part of it. I think he's been told by both the Hunter brothers, hey, stay out of the fighting realm and just stay on the back end and hold down the fort.
3-goal lead. Don't do anything silly. There's Zadorov. Pass ahead to Platzer. It's Tierney. He had some speed. Gets through the neutral zone. Plymouth the other way. Shot stopped by Stolarz. Carrick jumping into the play. Now he's caught. Back Domi. He's zipping in one-on-one. Catching up. On the far side was Tierney, and then he's crunched behind the play. No penalty. Muirs gets in front and scores! Darren Muirs! A beautiful goal for Plymouth. And with 10:51 to go, the Whalers are within 2.
Don't go away, folks. That's all I'm going to say. Just don't go away. Muirs, like he got shot out of a cannon. You see the opportunity for Domi. Once that's blocked by McDonald, watch how quickly Hartman gets it up ice. And Muirs, forget it. He turns the corner and he is gone. One of the few times you'll see Tommy Hughes beat. And an excellent, excellent play here to go up top to the forehand, beating Stolarz. You know, Plymouth was due for one of those with all the pressure they've had here in the first 9 minutes and 9 seconds of this third period.
Muirs, a 5th-round pick of the Colorado Avalanche, 32 goals during the regular season, is 7th of the playoffs. There's some fight left in the Whalers. Approaching the midway point of the third period.
Boy, oh boy, this, it's going to turn into river hockey because Plymouth has to throw everything it can at Dale Hunter and the Knights. And the Knights have no problem icing the puck, but they also have no problem transitioning. I mean, that's their game. So often the Knights get criticized for playing a trap game, but to me, it's more of a trap and transition game, and that can become very exciting, especially when a team is fighting for its playoff life.
Seth Griffith inside the Plymouth zone. Puck comes in front of Hartman. It just trickles past the far side. Scott Harrington so patient with the puck. Quickly ahead, now Griffith. He eludes a check from Trocheck, and Harrington's right there to fire that puck into the Plymouth end. Stolen along the boards by Horvath. Horvath gets it to Griffith. Griffith wants it right back behind the net. Tom Wilson. He'll wheel out. Moves it ahead to Kirkaruda. Mason doesn't handle it clean. Harrington takes it from him and moves it outside the Knights zone. He's got some skating room. 3 Knights over the line. Nick Melisa, he turned 20 a couple of weeks ago. Finds Tom Wilson. Wilson shot off the stick of Tommy Hughes, and that's out of play. Whalers, they need to win this game. It's Game 5 of the Western Conference Championships. Knights lead the series 3-1. Missed the lead from a sharp angle. That didn't work out. Mitchell Hurd. He's property of the Colorado Avalanche. Uvira, he's not going to be denied. He gets the puck. Back to Carrick. Some good stick handling. That hit traffic in front of the net. Didn't get to the goal. Carrick, a spin move inside his own line. Head up to center. Doesn't get it deep. Tommy Hughes sends it right back into the Whalers' head.
Garrett's up as a fourth forward. After that rush and inability to get the puck in, he just stayed in the neutral zone.
Why not? They need goals. Hurd stick handles his way in. The shot went off Tommy Hughes' stick harmlessly to the corner. Hurd runs into his own man, Uvera, and again the Knights content just to clear it outside their zone. Carrick's way up by the offensive blue line. Seth Griffith got off the bench, got over there to make sure he didn't go in for a dangerous rush. Ricard Raquel, that wasn't easy entering the zone. Pretty good move by Raquel. Can't get a shot. Carrick might. Backhands it in, they score! The Whalers score again. Carrick threw it in front of the net. It hit something, and Plymouth is within one with 8:18 to go.
Well, Carrick had about a 12-minute shift as the fourth forward, and it finally pays off because he gets possession of the puck, and when you think he runs out of real estate, a nifty move at the line by Carrick allows him to take it towards the goal. And Raquel, who does a nice job getting in over the line, goes to the front of the net. And you'll see Carrick, nifty move right here, front of the net. Raquel is there, and I think it goes off of Raquel's stick and in. Excellent move by Carrick, who I've really come to like over the course of this series. He has been brilliant for Plymouth.
Carrick for Orland Park, Illinois. Same place as Alex Broadhurst. Both guys have had great games tonight in Game 5 of the Western Conference Championship. Well, the crowd a little uneasy now at Budweiser Gardens. A 4-0 lead is comfortable. 4-3, not so much. Stefan Nason. He tried to fire all the momentum with the Whalers. Seth Griffith tried to change that. Got it in front. Ferry couldn't convert. Sends it down low to Ferry. Turkoglu pins him up against the boards. Griffith gets it to the line. It gets past Ole Matta, and he'll have to retreat.
Nothing else. You should have a lot of fun watching the final 7.5 minutes of this third period.
And Matta ices it, so the Knights will have a face-off deep in their own zone. Here's Rob Falls.
Guys, a pretty big event coming up this weekend. Semifinals of the Barcelona Open on play. Milos Raonic will face Rafael Nadal live 10 Eastern on Sportsnet 1. And immediately following that semifinal, Cole Schreiber against Almagro, still on Sportsnet 1, and it leads to the final live 10 Eastern on Sunday on the main Sportsnet channels.
Knights can't get it out. And it hits the glove of one of the Whaler players, and that will be a glove pass, and the faceoff will come outside.
Hurd's been good in the faceoff circle for Plymouth here. He's taking most of the important draws now when Trocheck was the guy to do it in game number 4. 2 minutes and 33 seconds apart here in the third. And remember that 4-goal, 8-minute outburst earlier in the series in game number 3. So there's no doubt this Plymouth team has the ability to strike and strike quickly.
Can't help but think of what Mike Vellucci said before the game. Said he doesn't know what the outcome will be, but he knows his team is going to fight tooth and nail right until that final buzzer. And they've done exactly that. When they were down 4-0, they could have rolled over. They haven't. Muirs, he's had a big goal in this game. Knights, a little bit sloppy, but got the bucket. Connor Carrick. There's a good delay to wait for his teammates to get onside. Tried to slide it through to Hartman. Hartman moves it back to the line. Muir's got there in time. Hartman shovels it in front, but it's blocked by Mermis. Mermis wraps it around the boards, and that will go down into the Plymouth zone. And another icing. Charge to London.
Well, we showed you what we thought might have been the insurance goal, the Broadhurst force goal to give London a 4-0 lead. But Hartman, towards the end of the second period, gets the Whalers on the board, followed up by Muirs, and then 2 minutes and 33 seconds later, Ricard Raquel in front of the net off the Connor Carrick backhand has put the Whalers to within 1.
As of right now, they've credited the goal to Connor Carrick, but I think you're right, Sam. I think it did hit Raquel in front.
Never check with me on those.
They should. You'd think they would have learned by now.
My bulbs are pretty good.
London can't get it out again. something they hadn't had trouble doing earlier in this game. All of a sudden, the collars get a little tighter. Cucuruto in front of his own net. He missed the net. Oh, what a chance that was. Ellie steals again, spins and fires, and Alex Nedeljkovic. You think about those saves he made when it was 4-0. He's kept his team in it, and they battled back for him. Uvira through center. Mitchell Hurd. That shot lofts over the net. Bounces around in the night zone. Griffith off the glass. Kept in for a moment by Niskali. Some pretty good eye-hand coordination to convert that effort. Vince Trocheck. He's the guy you want to see on the ice if you're a Plymouth Whalers fan. Connor Carrick. Rifles it in. Stolarz is out of his net. Plays it along the boards. That one's knocked down by Tom Wilson, but Bo Horvat steals. Flips it ahead. It's a 2-on-1 for the Knights. Griffith has Barry going to that. Griffith locks in, and that was off the post of the crossbar. Right back the other way. It's Tom Wilson, 1-on-5. He's got nobody with him. Wilson able to buy some time. Now the reinforcements have arrived. Cucuruto, top of the circle, makes a spin move. Ferry staying right with him. He wasn't fooled. Cucuruto now. Snaps a shot, scores! Can you believe it? The Plymouth Whalers have scored 4 unanswered and have tied it.
Oh boy. Momentum changes. Scraps, fines, suspensions. Great goals, some not so good, excellent saves. This series has seen it all. This game has become a complete circus. 4-0 London, and then that Hartman goal really, I felt, gave Plymouth confidence. And Cucuruto makes a great play here. He takes this puck down low, he recognizes there's nothing, he curls back up towards the middle of the ice, and as soon as he finds a lane, he's able to sneak it through and pick up the game-tying goal. Can you believe what we're seeing?
Well, Dale Hunter's pointing. I believe he wants them to go upstairs and take a look at this.
And they do on most goals anyway. But I think what Dale Hunter is looking for, if there was a high stick in front of the net. Scott Oakman and Sean Reed, it'll be Sean Reed, the official, who takes the phone here as they have this conversation with the off-ice officials upstairs. And I think they want to see if the Cucuruto shot was deflected by any Plymouth stick up front.
Well, we were able to listen into the audio, and that review didn't take very long. It is a good goal.
What happens here, RJ, and in the Ontario Hockey League specifically, every single goal goes up for review. And so usually it's just a quick check if there's nothing, worrisome at all. And I think that's what they were looking for, just to make sure that there wasn't a high stick by Nason in front.
Well, we've seen this before. London Knights blow a lead. Plymouth comes back. But can Plymouth finish the job and get the win and force a game 6? Whole new ball game now. Just over 4 minutes to go. Here come the Knights. It's a 3-on-2. Broadhurst drops it off for Domi. Broadhurst. He lets it just wide. Behind the net, Domi gets it in front. Knocked aside by Austin Levi. And now Plymouth takes a page out of the Knights book and will just get the whistle, send it down the ice. Icing just fine with them. Oh, what a push by Plymouth. Down 4-0. They've tied it with 3:54 to go.
Important saves when he's needed to for Plymouth.
Face-off win for the Knights. Bo Horvat tried to find Griffith. Picked off by Trocheck along the boards. Comes to Tommy Hughes. He lofted that near the net. It was going to miss, but can't take any chances now. And Alex Nedeljkovic hangs on.
And that's the thing about Nedeljkovic. I mean, he came into this year and no way he thought he'd get an opportunity to play with Matt Mahalik, the Carolina draft pick, as the starter. But Mahalik didn't get off to a particularly good start. And so in February, Mike Vellucci said, hey, I'm just going to give the kid a try. And it's worked out well. 19-2, 1-1 in the regular season.
Tom Wilson coming in, and Stefan Nason just couldn't stay onside.
Yeah, and this is where the London Knights feel that they might be able to take advantage of something. And this is where Tom Wilson has to keep his cool. He is way more important on the ice for Plymouth than he is trying to exert any physical presence over Scott Harrington or anyone else on the London Knights for that matter. And you see Harrington just trying to goad Wilson into a penalty there. That's a veteran move by the London captain, but Wilson not fighting this time around.
Shots are 41-30 in favor of Plymouth. 3:35 to go in the third period. Knights seem to be in control, up 4-0. Plymouth, they don't want their season to end tonight. Thrown in front, Nedeljkovic, calm and cool. Just turned 17. A lot of pressure on that young man now. Big forecheck for Plymouth. Raquel comes up with a puck. Stolen by Remy Allen. He has Platzer with him. Madison on this rush too. Rupert's there as well. Quick passing, but nothing got to the net except for Ellie, and the net is off, and that's the reason for the whistle.
RJ, you talked earlier in the game about the National Hockey League final Central Scouting rankings coming out, and Remy Ellie, one of those guys on a list of 8 for the London Knights. Look at Zadorov, Horvat, and Domi as potential first-round picks, and then Ellie up to 71, Kyle Platzer at 110, Miles Liberati, who we have not seen in this game, at 150, Jake Patterson, the backup goaltender for London, ranked 20th as far as North American goaltenders are concerned. So this snowball just keeps on rolling, and your call at the end of last year's MasterCard Memorial Cup was great. The London Knights should be good again next year. You were right on the money.
They might be better than they were last year, and they might be even better next year.
Yeah, isn't that something to think that you can keep that ball rolling?
Mitchell Hurd, some pro experience this season with Lake Erie in the American Hockey League. Hurd has it now. He's out there with Matt Mistalik. Tommy Hughes takes a hit from Hurd. Controls along the boards, though. Moves it ahead. Alex Broadhurst takes his time. Sends it into Max Domi. Domi in front. Turner spins. Nobody there for the Knights. Austin Levi. He's looking for a little bit of help. The big defenseman made a pretty good move. Ernest intercepts, and there's Scott Harrington behind his own goal, the Knights captain. Tough to get him flustered. Moves it to Broadhurst. Hard pass. Might have been more of a shot across the ice. Vince Trocheck. Harrington will try to stay close to him. Trocheck's been kept in check. Yet the Plymouth Whalers have been able to tie this game. 1 assist for Trocheck in this game. Down to 1:35 to go in the third. Melissa able to keep it in. Tom Wilson sends it down to Trocheck. Wilson comes up with it. Wilson, there's Tommy Hughes hanging on it. Wilson still controls. Wilson will try the other way. Instead drops it off for Trocheck. Trocheck's pass. There's an open man over there. It's Curtis Crombie. Crombie walks the line. Dumps it in. Stolarz holds his ground. His defenseman Oli Mata comes up with it. Slides it ahead. Tyler Ferry at center. To Seth Griffin. 1-on-4. Doesn't get it deep.
So key. You want the puck outside of the blue lines. If you're both teams, you want it in deep.
Raquel. That shot blocked by Scott Harrington. Under a minute to go here in the third. Max Domi. He's got a step. Domi wants it. Just put it high. Wouldn't that have been something? Capping off his big night. He has 4 points on the night so far.
Blown the lid right off this building.
Ryan Hartman. His pass picked off by Zadorov. Gets to the Plymouth line. Dumped right back to Raquel. Has to let that puck settle. Teammates went offside. Maddo will try to take advantage. Down to 20 seconds to go here in the third. Overtime is looming here in Game 5 of the Western Conference Final. That's sent out of play. The crowd says it's a penalty. The referee says nope. It hit something before it went out. Just a face-off inside Plymouth zone is all that will result.
Yeah, good job by the officials, veteran Sean Reed and Scott Oakman looking after the refereeing duties. And off a Domi stick and out it goes. But I like the conference there by all the officials to get together. Make sure you make the call right. Don't be influenced by this 9,046 crowd here at the Budweiser Gardens.
Well, they must have said it went off the glass and out because the faceoff staying deep in the Plymouth zone. 14 seconds to go. This is a big faceoff. Trocheck against Rupert. Rupert wins. Murmas off the draw. Can't get a shot to the net. Sends it in deep. Domi's back there. Bumps with Kirkaruto. Comes in front. Murmas. Not a shot. That's wide. Comes in front. Nedeljkovic gets a left pad on it. And the final seconds tick away. There's the buzzer. 60 minutes will not decide. Game 5, we will go. And Anthony Stolarz, second-round pick of the Philadelphia Flyers, New Jersey native, has been rock solid for the Knights. Game 5 of the Western Conference Championship. We're in overtime now. If the Knights win, it's done. They win the Wayne Gretzky Trophy. They're Western Conference champions. If Plymouth wins, we'll go to a Game 6.